Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy ArcherAngel here with a brand new video for you guys today here on Archery Friday. ArcherAngel out here with another banging review. Today we're doing a review for, drum roll please, the Samick Sage right here. Here's that big beastie boy. Oh yeah. So we're doing a review for the Samick Sage. It's that time. It's one of the most hyped up, one of the most talked about, one of the most bought bows out there. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the Samick Sage. Let's tell you the price, tell you the size, and all that good stuff as a review. The Samick Sage. Now, the Samick Sage is one of the most popular bows out there when it comes to this style of archery. If you go to most YouTube channels, you'll be able to find a Samick Sage review almost anywhere. It's a very common bow here in the United States. A very common bow for traditional archers, people who don't use compound bows. The design of the Samick Sage is like so popular that in archery, those of you who are new, did something that will surprise you. But for those who are archers, you already know this. But whenever there's a design of a bow that people cling on to and people really enjoy, other producers out there, other bowers out there will copy that design and use it. So you see the Samick Sage, you'll think you've seen it elsewhere. There's the Southwest Archery spider that looks just like the Samick Sage. There's the the Deer Seeker or Amazon looks just like the Samick Sage. There's other bows out there, another producer of bows out there who all have bows that look just like the Samick Sage. Now, when I got my Samick Sage was only like 120 bucks. I think right now Amazon, just the bow itself will cost you around 150. So the price has increased, which is a general thing in archery, especially when it comes to like these bows that you can just get off Amazon. The pricing for them fluctuates. Sometimes they can be as low as 112 bucks. Sometimes they can go to 150. They don't usually go over that price of 150. When you see bows that are like actually produced from an actual supplier like Alley Bow or Mandarin Duck or AF Archery, Three Rivers, people like that, bows tend to be at a static price and they don't go up or down. But bows that you can get off like Amazon and eBay, they're going to fluctuate. So the Samick Sage is made out of fiberglass, maple wood, and some metal. It's a right-handed bow. You can get it in left hand as well. Mine's is 25 pounds, but you can get it anywhere from 25 to 60 pounds. It's about 62 inches in length. 28 inch, is the maximum recommended draw. But you can obviously go a little higher than that. If you're not experienced, don't try to like overdraw bows. Like, some bows out there are designed for being overdrawn. Those are usually Asiatic bows. Like, for example, my Kajik, it's at 28 inches, 45 pounds, but it can go up to 35 inches, so it can be increased. It can be overdrawn. This isn't one of those bows though, so don't try overdrawing your Samick Sage. All right, so here's another angle, another look at my Samick Sage. As I keep mentioning, like I'm going to mention it multiple times during this video. I don't know what part that I want to see like this clip of the video, but I keep mentioning like how blocky it is. And so like when it comes to the Samick Sage, like just look at, like, this is a very long riser. It's very bogey. It's just a lot. When you look at something like the Black Hunter, like I showed you before, it's very sleek. And this is my very first bow. And I like the idea of it being my first bow. I just see I got like a little fake fur here, little rubber stopper there. Really like how the Samick Sage has twisty knobs for its limbs versus having to have the tool that's, for like most bows, a lot of bows have the same kind of tools that the Black Hunter uses, which, you got to stick the bolt in, use the tool to twist it in. Like the Samick has, you don't need a tool. If you want a survival bow, and this is just an in general comment for survival bows, having a twist for a bolt to get the limbs in is so much better, because that's one tool you don't need in survival. Let's say you have the Black Hunter or any bow that requires a tool to get limbs on. Let's say you're in a survival situation. Let's say, you're in the wilderness, you're post-apocalyptic zombies, whatever. It doesn't matter what the situation is, and you lose that key. You now no longer have a bow. If you lose that tool, you don't have a bow.
Whereas with something like this, you're good. You don't need a tool. You just need to turn it on, put it, stick it in, stick it back in there, twist it. You're good. And having these you say, well, what if you lose the bolt? If you're taking care of your shit, you shouldn't lose your bolt. But anyways, it's not. That's just a little tangent. Also have the little beaver fur on the end. Those I don't really need these. They're meant to silence the bow. I don't actually need them. This is a very quiet bow for the most part. I don't hunt, so it's not like I need this for hunting. I only have this on here just for aesthetics. I want my bow to look cool, so we added the freaking the beaver fur silencers at the end. And also, before anyone asks, this is not this one in a previous videos. Like, you don't have knocking points. My Black Hunter and my Samick Sage and my Hankyu are all have knocking points. My other bows don't. I actually feel more comfortable shooting without knocking points. But here's another, like, just a close look at this big beefy riser, and that's mostly what I want to show when it comes to like this angle. Like, just look at how big this riser.
Samick Sages are like really good bows for, you know, longevity. Like, this is a bow where I said before in the video before about how you take care of your bow, they take care of you. The Samick Sage can last you basically your entire fucking life. Like, I know, I'm sorry if y'all don't like me like cursing. I'm sorry, it's just a reaction. But the Samick Sage will last you for about as long as you want it to last you in terms of like how long you take care of it. It's a very sturdy bow. It's a big bulky riser. And I keep mentioning that in all my videos as a negative, and it is a negative. Being very bulky is not a pretty bow, but you can pretty it up. You get some customizations done to it to where it looks a little bit better. And it's a very bulky bow, but it's built to last. It's going to last you a while. You'll get it as your entry bow, just starting bow, and you still use it as your intermediate bow because you can't switch out these limbs. You can replace these limbs with heavier limbs if you want to, so it'll be able to deal with heavier weight, very replaceable limbs, very attachment friendly when it comes to like other kind of like archery attachments. I don't have any like other than some the fake bear little rest and the beaver for the for silencers. I don't really do a lot of customization, but you can customize these bows pretty well. The way it shoots, it's a very smooth shooter. Like, I want you to understand, like, even though I said it's a bulky bow, the Samick Sage is a very smooth shooter. Like, it doesn't really feel like it's stacking at all. You know, it gets from point A to point B, aka from your draw to wherever you're stopping your draw at. It gets there. It gets to 20 inches very smoothly. You don't really feel like you're pulling a lot of weight, even if you're like doing 25 pounds or up to 60 pounds. It's a very smooth pull. It's a very accurate shooter. I feel like it's really hard to talk about accuracy when it comes to these kind of bows, because these bows are designed for you to be as accurate as possible without even being as good as possible at archery. What I mean by that is these kind of style bows, and the Mandarin Duck, the Black Hunter, the bows that have this similar design as Samick Sage, they have these really huge windows that make them center shot bows, so they're very easy to be accurate with. When it comes to these, like, being inexperienced at archer, you can pull these with this bow out of the box and be hitting center target because of how it's designed, because of how center shot that window is designed on these kind of bows. Overall, I would say the Samick Sage, if you want to give it a score out of 1 out of 10, it's definitely an 8. Like, it deserves to be as hyped up of a bow that it is. It's a good bow. It's a solid bow. It's going to do everything that you need to do with it. There's people out there who hunt with this bow, so it's not even just a target bow that you just use in your backyard or at the range. People hunt with this bow. It's a very durable bow. It's a useful bow. Whether you're a beginner at archery or someone who just wants another bow to own, it's an easy recommendation. Personally, I do like the Black Hunter a little bit better. There's, as I said before, you always see this bow and the Black Hunter bow compared with each other. You always see people talk about, constantly people in the comments, people who are bigger in the archery community. There's always people in the comments going, "What do you think is better, the Samick Sage or the Black Hunter?" You'll see people say the Samick Sage, see people say the Black Hunter. Samick Sage is my first bow because I saw more people say the Samick Sage, so I ended up getting Samick Sage. And again, New Sensei is someone who pointed me into getting the Samick Sage. He's also done videos where he's like reviewed the Samick Sage like 3 years after his first review of it, and just talk about the mythos, the legend behind this Korean bow that is like massively used in the West. And it's just it's a good bow. It's a good shooter, and I do recommend it if you don't have one and you want one. Again, if you can try to find it at a lower price, I would. I think 150 for Samick Sage is a little too much. Again, I paid like 120 for mine when I got it a couple years ago. If you can find it cheaper than that, do. If you can't, I would say just hold off. Maybe get a Black Hunter instead, because a Black Hunter is usually cheaper. But with all that said, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave any thoughts you have in the comments below. I'll catch you guys next Friday, maybe, with a review of my Turkish bow. So see you then. You guys be safe. You got one of them. Have a good weekend. Big boy takes ArcherAngel. Follow me on all my links. Links are in the description below. On Twitch. It's on the screen right now. Y'all be safe. I'm out. Deuces.